That is July 9th, 1998, the set list from Barcelona, Spain. And in my opinion, I think in most people's opinion, I don't even know. Let's go ahead and call it a fact. This was the best of the three nights over in Barcelona for sure. And we get started out with the Carini, a bit of an infamous, the current Pete Carini's Gonna Get You. That was this version. The previous night, someone ran on stage, Pete Carini doing his job, not only as Fishman's drum tech, but also a impromptu security. And then I believe not the only time Carini had to jump into action. And then after that, that was a great start. And then we get on to more good stuff. I mean, there was very little downtime in this show. I mean, look, Poor Heart's a lot of fun, but I don't know. Maybe you're not racing to a show to see Poor Heart, but that's still cool. You got the acapella Hello My Baby, but that's all right. It ended the set. Didn't take up much time. I've had about enough. It's getting to be a little bit too much with When the Circus Comes to Town. It seems like every show now I listen to, that song appears. But again, didn't take up a whole lot of time there, and then just everything else. Look at that. I mean, Encore, set closer, a late first set Tweezer that goes off the charts. Another drowned first set opener here. So let's get back to where we were with the Boogie On and NICU. Nothing going on here a lot, just starting out with a nice trio of songs. Everything played well. Then we get into a melt. Wow, it just stays like a, it stays melt. Doesn't get too crazy. Nothing fancy. Doesn't need to though when it's split open and melt. That's one of the handful of songs where just like every time I think it's awesome. But this one just felt really tight. Every change, the tempo, just felt like everything was perfect. The crowd really feeling it. Nice video of this on YouTube actually. I'll include the link down below. And then what we wish we always got, what feels like Mike Gordon's meat, getting down to this sick meat over in Barcelona. It was kind of like a low, slow jam like meat is, but they just kind of kept it going and going with it, giving Mike a chance to show off there. As well as Trey, of course, and then the Poor Heart. Let's race out to add. They needed to heat things up a little bit. This was wild. This was, low and slow. We needed to heat it up a little bit, only to, that was the warm up for this one. And this one starts out, more of the meat, kind of like a low and slow, funky, a little heavier, a little more to it than the meat. But then man, there's a little bit of a shift, and then it starts to rock, and then the tempo begins to pick up, the intensity's building, and it's just really rocking. Get kind of like I feel like maybe like a Wolfman's Brother jam, maybe even they're going into Wolfman's Brother. As the jam is really starting to pick up, they never do. It just kind of shifts back into just like the finishing up the Tweezer jam, and then that was really the big end of the first set was the Tweezer. I mean, this was great. This was excellent. That just took this. That took the set though. Really, I mean, that was really a 5-star set. And then you get over here, you get Drowned, rocking out. Like I said, Paige kind of taking off. It started out just like, all right, this is kind of like a simmering version, and then it's just completely boiling by the end. Didn't reach the Prague levels. Maybe that's why this is a great show, kind of overlooked by the Prague show just a few days before, I believe. Maybe the show before they arrived in Spain for these three. And then a theme from the bottom, kind of like the Melt. Nothing fancy, but just a nailed great song. And then When the Circus Comes to Town, all right, if you got to go to the bathroom, now was your chance, because then things get a little wild again from here on out. We get Sin of a Mule, and then, the Mule into Blister in the Sun maybe wasn't the smoothest, but the Blister in the Sun back into Mule was. And you can hear it, I believe it was maybe Mike was maybe the first to kind of tease Blister in the Sun a little bit. Paige maybe caught on. This was Into the Mule jam there. And then the whole band catches on. The whole damn, what is that? Wasn't quite an arena, Maybe the whole auditorium, I suppose. I'm not sure. They had to pick up the size of the venue, though. I did read somewhere in the notes that they originally had another place scheduled. This is the Setlist. They had to pick it up, and then we get back into Mule, so that's nice. I wish we get some more cool stuff like that every now and then, Then into Harry Hood, and then the Hood starts out. It's like, okay, we got us a nice normalized version here, but then like everything on this night, it kind of picks up. I felt like maybe there was a Jesus Left Chicago, or maybe that was in Drowned, or even in Tweezer, somewhere in there. I felt like I was hearing like a Jesus Left Chicago tease. Maybe that was Hood. We get into Isabella, ending it with some Jimi Hendrix there. Even though we are not in the UK and he was not a part of the British invasion, it sure seemed like, hey, it's the European thing to do. Isabella. And then Chalk Dust Torture. Let's rage it out one last time over here. Although they had one more night to go. This was the best of Z3, though. All right. Well, BobWeaver, what a call. I don't know if I imagine if I had heard this, I would have remembered it. I do not recall this show. That was fun. That was a rager. That was awesome. That was awesome. It was just overall, boom. We're out of here. Thank you. Take a look at that. Maybe we could have used more circling and less lines, but you know, maybe this is me. Maybe I'm in a transition here, like Phish oftentimes does. As the album Evolve comes out, perhaps. Oh my God, what do we got here? What is that? Who is that? What? You can't reach me. All right, guys. Boom. We are out of here.